Higher education is in a storm right now. Now, here at Reach University, we are not in the eye of that storm, but eyes are on us. Leaders across higher ed are looking at Reach, and the question is, are we ready? Are we ready for the spotlight? Are we ready for what's to come? Well, I'll tell you. But first, remember, Reach University is the nonprofit university that is bringing higher education into the workplace so workers everywhere can turn their jobs into degrees. Now, look, I know it's been a minute since my last Real Talk, so let me say my name is Joe E. Ross. I work for Reach University as its president, and it has been a doozy of a time for all of us working in higher education for any university in the United States. Real talk, there's some things I don't know. I don't know exactly how all the changes in federal education policy will play out. But there are three things that I do know. First, the work we're doing has never been more urgent. That's why we say reach more than ever. Thousands of candidates are counting on us to help change their lives, and tens of thousands more are waiting for their chance to pursue an apprenticeship degree. Second, Reach is not just surviving right now. We're inspiring colleges, employers, policymakers, all just starting to see that higher ed can be different. And this is because of you, because of us, because of your work. Your work is giving people real hope that higher education can be different. Third, the policy landscape is shifting. You can see it every day. Big universities under pressure, federal and state rules changing fast. But last week's executive order on apprenticeship sent a big signal that apprenticeship generally and the apprenticeship degree specifically are now national priorities, not just in Little Rock and Sacramento and Montgomery, but also in Washington, D.C., and on both sides of the political aisle on Capitol Hill. And Reach continues to lead the apprenticeship degree movement in the United States. And even more than that, here at Reach, we never stop asking, what makes higher education higher? Our answer is clear. At Reach, higher education is higher because here it is rooted in inquiry and dialogue and collaboration and practice. Higher education is higher at Reach, not just because our apprenticeship degree builds careers, although it does, and not just because it builds the workforce, although it does that too, but because it frees the mind. At the undergraduate level, we seek to bring classical liberal education into the workplace. Our core degree, after all, is the associate and bachelor's degree in liberal studies. And for both undergraduate and postgraduate candidates, we pair work-based learning with tutorials and seminars, real conversation-based learning rooted in inquiry, where candidates are free to pursue truth and knowledge, knowing that lifelong learning always begins with humility and with essential questions, many of which have been asked since the days of Socrates. So yeah, the nation's leader in advancing the apprenticeship degree is dedicated, somewhat surprisingly, to the proposition that liberal studies, in the classical sense, is relevant to the workplace and core to making the apprenticeship degree a true credential of value. So eyes may be fixed on us, but our eyes remain fixed on the prize. Back to the question that I started with. Are we ready? Are we good? Yes, we are. Because back in February, we made those hard but necessary moves to strengthen our foundation. Reach is strong, Reach is focused, Reach is growing. And we're stepping up right when the country needs us. We're making our voice heard in Washington, D.C., and in the state capitals and beyond. And we're true to our mission, walking through walls for each other, for our candidates, and for the communities that they serve. Coming up next, we'll talk about our priorities for the rest of this academic year. Look for details in this week's Reach Front newsletter. And I'll see you next time right here on Real Talk.